Hey, here we are today in Columbia, South Carolina with my friend Solomon. First question I'm gonna ask you, what made you want to get in this type of establishment, this type of business? What made you want to get into it?
Well, you know, my grandfather was a healer.
Okay.
You know, so I learned from him. I grew up doing this.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
and I always been interested in what most people would consider strange. You know, I always been the kid that played outside, and I always been that type person. You know, that most people are I mess with the animals, and that's just my thing.
Okay.
I've always been highly interested in nature.
Okay. Okay. Well, let them know what type of education and what type of form of education.
Okay, I got a degree in biology, biochemistry, education.
Okay. Okay. So, after you finished school, and what type of work did you go in? Did you jump straight into this, or did you do something before this?
First, I was working in the laboratory.
Okay.
Doing lab work. Then I went into education.
Okay.
Okay. And so when I was in education, I met one of my master teachers, Don Leon. And so for each summer, we'd spend time in Peru. And that's how I got deeper into my understanding of healing.
Gotcha.
Okay? So I grew up, like, my granddad taught me a lot about healing. But Don Leon took it to another level. And I just combined science with it. Because it's basically the same thing.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. How long you been doing this?
I've been doing this professionally.
You're professional.
For at least about 26 years. Okay? But like I said, I grew up doing it. You know, when we was coming up, as you can remember, not on every corner you see a CVS. But when we was coming up, it was only one doctor's office, one dentist's office, because I'm from a smaller town.
Okay.
You know, so what my grandfather did, he helped the community. You know, been doing it. His mother was also a healer. You know,
Yes, sir.
so his profession was a farmer.
I was very interested there because if he did it and his mother did it, it's been passed on to him. So you can say it was like something that was embedded in someone.
And really, all my family, you know, good with this. It's just that I took a high interest in it.
No doubt.
You know, sometimes people don't appreciate what they grew up with.
Okay. Well, speaking on that, after you went to college and became a biochemist, when you started learning to get your education on, what did you pick up that you didn't know before you started actually studying? What did you actually pick up that was very intriguing to me?
Okay, one thing I remember what really got my attention.
Okay.
Because when I went to school, I was going to be a dentist.
Okay.
That was really what I really went to school for.
Okay.
And then one day I was hanging with one of the professors, and you know I like to work out, so me and him used to work out together. I worked for him, and one day we were just talking, and he said something, and it offended me. He said, "You know all this research we're doing, the medicine really not for black people."
Really?
Yeah, and I took it personally, and I was like, so he asked me to go out, you know, like the next day, and I was like, well, look, I need to stay here, and I stopped going to work out with him.
Oh, wow.
Because I was helping him.
Gotcha.
So one day we was in there, and I said to him real ugly, I said, why are we always dealing with these white rats? I ain't never seen one outside before. And then he looked at me and he said, And I didn't say it, and my tone was off. And he looked at me and he said, remember when I told you that the research and what we're working on is really match the Europeans. That's why, and when he said that, it made sense to me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was like, cause like, you'll never see a white rat outside.
No.
But the research done on those types of animals, because it matched the chemistry, more so the Caucasian.
Oh. Yeah. Never
You see, everything is based off, it's a cultural thing.
Okay.
So, you know, the Caucasian is the dominant culture in America.
Gotcha.
So it makes sense to do things that's geared towards them. Like when you look at who's the sickest, it's mostly black people that's really sick.
Yeah. That's when we get into a
You
little
go to the hospital, you don't see Chinese in them. You don't see foreigners in them. Don't you know they get sick too?
Yeah.
So what are they doing? It started in the kitchen. That's where it started.
Yeah. You're definitely right.
Go to the supermarket. Where's our food at? Now, our Caribbean brothers and sisters do a good job. The Africans, they come here do a good job. But the ones that's here, they do it worse. You know?
Yeah.
Italian, go to the grocery store. Mexican.
Yeah. You're right.
Where's our aisle? We don't even properly season our food. We just throw a pork bone, chicken bone in there, some kind of
A
bone,
little flavor.
and some salt and pepper. It tastes good, but it's the food supposed to become a medicine. When you eat foreigners' food, they use exotic herbs and spices. You know, and the food become the medicine.
Yeah. Oh man, you got me mesmerized. Okay, that make a whole lot of sense. We don't get back into that, but I just want to ask you a question. When you first started your first establishment, I know you were somewhere else before you was here. When you first got your business, what did you have in there first? What did you first bring in?
Now, number one, we came up with the name Solomon Temple because the Bible clearly says that in chapter 6 in 1 Kings, that the temple was made without the sound.
It was what now?
It was made without the sound of a hammer or an axe.
Okay.
My understanding, this body is Solomon's temple. That's how I took it. What could be made without the sound of a hammer or an axe? So magnificent. Our mothers constructed this body.
Yeah.
You see, that's how so I think that this God's greatest creation. That's why I say God is within.
Oh man.
This is the temple of man. And if you really understand his body and take it from that place, you understand that we hurt ourselves and we heal ourselves. The body is nothing been created better than this. This is the temple. You know, the most precious stones and gold and everything. Because we got gold in us. You know, we come from the soil, which is nothing but minerals.
Nothing but mineral. Yes, sir. I was talking to you earlier. You said you had a garden. How big is your garden? Is it?
Yeah, it's about a couple of acres.
Okay.
But see, so we both grow some herbs,
Gotcha.
even grow some food to eat. I also do wildcrafting. Okay, so I made a relationship with a lot of people in the country. See, I'm from the country, so I know the country. I made relationships with a lot of people. And what I did with them is I talked with them and they allowed me to get there. A lot of people don't know what they have in their yard. Like as you ride through the countryside, it's so much herbs that's out there. The best herbs because they wild crafted. They just grow out the ground the way God intended them to grow. You don't gotta do anything with them. Those have the greatest nutritional value and they are the best.
Yes.
Okay? Those are the best herbs. I know organic is overplayed.
Is it?
Yes. Organic, wild crafted is number one.
Wild crafted.
Yeah. See, like when you see certain plants, they growing on that soil, it's the right conditions, the right nutrients, perfect for that particular plant. But oftentimes when we grow it, we force it. We have to add a lot of different things to it. You know?
Yeah.
Because everything that God made grows once a year. It don't grow year round. You know? We really should eat everything in season. But because of the economic gain, you know, you get apples year round, oranges year round, but it don't grow year round.
No.
Then when they ship to us, they have to spray things on it to speed it up. In fact, it's shipped to us is raw.
Like it's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be the color like an orange supposed to be orange. The apple supposed to be if it's a red or whatever color the fruit is. But when they're shipping it unripe, green. Then they put these gases on it to speed up the process. Okay, so it'll ripen. The problem with that is the fruit don't get the nutritional value that the cherry got. It's supposed to be ripe through the sun.
Okay.
And it's its best when it falls. But it don't do nothing for economics because if you get it right, the shelf life is gonna be bad.
Get it right.
You know, because like a lot of times when you bring it home after a couple of days, so imagine them getting it. So I understand their position.
Okay.
But it's bad for us because we're not getting nothing out of the fruit.
Yeah. Makes a whole lot of sense.
You know, you're not getting what you can get from it. You know, so everybody should try to grow their own. You know, you can do a little backyard garden. You know, it's so many things you can do. You can take a box and put the soil in it and just grow from a box. It don't take a lot. Everybody should have a fruit tree or something where you can get some sun-ripe vegetables, sun-ripe fruit.
You hear that?
Something simple as an apple tree, yo.
Nero.
Peach tree.
Yeah, you hear that, Myron? The same thing y'all are doing. He said it's what we need to do. Yeah. Got them little boxes in the back, got the soil, they growing their tomatoes, they growing their cucumbers.
That's right.
And it tastes so good. Like we'll go pick one off and eat it, and I never thought I could pick it off a vine and just eat it. It tastes good.
Kids love it.
Yeah, and it's delicious. We have a garden like that, man. I have to go out and just eat out of the garden.
Right.
I'm talking about my dad used to say, go to the garden, tell me get my 3 squash, pull some about 10 okra. Your mama gonna cook. So when I'm out there, I get me a watermelon, I must be eating while I'm out there.
That's right.
And I'm coming back home full. It's the best watermelon.
The best.
It's a different taste than the ones you buy at the store. So you all right, and I plan on getting back into that. I got some land, and I want to start planting in the garden. I want to just know do's and don'ts about it, because I really didn't pay attention to my daddy planting. I just went and helped.
That's
I
right.
didn't get education on it. But I got some land when I'm going to plant in the garden where I can start eating out of the garden myself. And
Right.
start doing it the right way and getting it raw and eating it raw.
Yeah, it don't gotta be as crafty. You know, that's why I think that, you know, because if the truth is told, all the fruits and vegetables we eat is controlled by like one family. you'd be surprised that almost everything we eat is coming through 1 or 2 families. Yeah, they shift it. Like a lot of the farmers market, like we used to do the farmers market. That's what we used to do as children. And my grandfather was older. You go to the farmers market and sell it. Go to the flea market and sell it.
Yeah.
That was the real. Now, a lot of the farmers are getting it from foreign places. Think about it. You go to the farmers market, you got watermelon out of the sea. You got apples and oranges out of the sea. So you gotta make sure that you go to a legitimate person at the farmers market. There's truth to it. Sometimes we gotta get exposed to different types of foods and vegetables. In the winter months, you're gonna eat more of the collard greens. The root plants. It's a time and season for everything. You can't just be everything. Can't just be year round.
Yeah, that's what's going on.
And so, the same with the herbs. I do the herbs like clockwork. Every year, I know with the people I got relationships with, I go to their area and I wildcraft.
All right, we back. We gonna pick his brain a little bit. Talk to Mr. Solomon about some things that we go through as a people. On some ailments we gonna ask him some questions on, and he will give us some information on what we need to do to better assist what we got going on in our lives. We know we don't eat right, we don't exercise like we should, but we're gonna talk to Mr. Solomon. I'm gonna call out a couple of things for him, and he's gonna let us know what's good for that ailment. And we're gonna start off with the number one thing on the list: high blood pressure. Tell me, what can you do to regulate that?
Yeah. See, that's something that plagues everybody.
Gotcha.
The interesting thing about high blood pressure, most people over 40 is on some type of blood pressure medicine, okay? And they'll be on it for the rest of their life. But the interesting thing about it is, as you get older, your blood pressure naturally goes up. Okay? So my blood pressure won't be as good as low as my children's blood pressure. Okay? It's naturally gonna go up, but there is a range that's too high. So I want to make sure I say that as well.
Gotcha.
So I'm not saying that 160 and 150 is not high. It is high, but what I'm trying to say is you can't expect to be 120 unless you're taking something. It's naturally gonna go up.
Gotcha.
Okay, it's a book about it. The blood pressure hoax. It's like a way that it's an easy way to guarantee to put somebody on something. Okay, so the first thing that we do is we detox the body. That's number one for everything. You always detox the body. And so you detox the body, but you're gonna notice that the blood flows better. Like we ride around in cars, they got better oil in it than the quality of our blood. Wow. We change that every, so many miles, but we don't change the quality of our blood. As a result, the blood flows better. You see, because it ain't the same quality as sludge. Then we give them herbs like hawthorn berry. This is a herb that helps control your pressure. Okay? Now if your pressure is if it's a lot deeper, we have this product called Heart Food. It's an amazing product. It has all the ingredients that's for all forms of high blood pressure. See, you can have high blood pressure. You can have preliminary high blood pressure where you got high blood pressure in your lungs. You can have high blood pressure in your brain. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So high blood pressure is not just isolated just to when you're taking something for your arm,
Yeah.
you can have it in different regions of your body.
Okay.
And so that's why you see people having the aneurysms, because the pressure in their head is so high. You can have just high blood pressure in your brain. You know, I saw somebody yesterday, she had pulmonary high blood pressure. So she got all this fluid building up in the lungs. Okay? Now, depending on if you have those type of high blood pressures, then we have to do other things and put you on a special program. But the heart food would typically take care of all forms of blood pressure. Okay?
Okay. Well, got another one here. What about if your cholesterol is high?
Okay.
What's good for that?
Okay, so when your cholesterol is high, your liver makes your cholesterol. The liver makes 80% of the cholesterol. So it's an issue within the liver.
Okay.
The other 20% comes from how you eat.
Okay.
And we know this relationship between high cholesterol and aneurysms, you know, which are very dangerous. So the first thing we're gonna do is get the liver right. Okay? A lot of people walk around with fatty livers. A lot of times we see people with these, you know, it's the liver that just is swollen. It's a fatty liver. Okay? And a lot of times when people try to lose weight, they feel like they hadn't lost much weight because the liver has to come down. Then over time you'll see more of the weight, but a lot of the problems is associated with the liver being out of balance. So we're going to address the liver.
Okay.
So we're going to use the liver cleanse, and that's going to correct your cholesterol. Okay. And there are a lot of herbs you can take for cholesterol, like bitter melon. It's amazing for cholesterol.
Help cleanse the liver.
Well, it'll help lower your cholesterol, you know. But the key is the issue is the liver. You know, you have to get to the underlying cause.
Gotcha. Okay. What about diabetics? I see a lot of that.
Okay. You know, that's a major problem. To me, diabetes is the most dangerous thing a person can have.
Okay.
You know, you never see nobody getting you know, people be scared of AIDS, but you never see nobody with AIDS with their legs and feet cut off.
Yeah.
You know, and I call it the king's disease. You know, it's a disease from eating bad. You know.
Eat like the king.
Yeah, eating all, you know, it used to be a time that only the kings ate like this.
Yeah, true.
Now, you know, it used to be you cook and, you know, you're not gonna get a whole bunch of seconds and stuff. Now I can drive through, get a bucket of chicken with all the sides in 5 minutes. You used to couldn't eat all that food because, you know,
Yeah.
then when you ate, you put it in the, you know, you ate and it went in the microwave and all of that.
True.
You know? So, to get rid of the diabetes, the first thing, again, detox the body. Yeah, we got a product called Equality. It'll balance your sugar.
Okay.
Regardless of it's stage 1 or stage 2, you know, diabetes 1 or 2, it'll balance it. But the problem with it all stems to the body. See, it's only 2 major causes for disease: toxemia and poor nutrition. Those are 2 causes of diseases. Okay. It used to be only 1 cause, toxemia. Okay. And so almost all of us have parasites. Parasites is the #1 problem that's plaguing everything. So a lot of times we see people, they say, how many times you go to the bathroom? I went to the bathroom once today. Most of the time, the bathroom that they get it from comes from the parasites use the bathroom. The parasites are so dangerous. They control your body through neurotoxins. They make you crave all this food. They actually control your body. They release these things called neurotoxins. These neurotoxins that make you feel like you're hungry, not hungry. You know?
Yeah.
These parasites drain you of all your life force. A lot of times when you cut a tumor open, you're going to see parasites in it. You know? And so when I say parasites, most people think of like there's hundreds of parasites. Most people, when you say the word parasite, you're going to think of the pinworm, the roundworm, the hookworm.
Yeah.
Most parasites are invisible. You know, they're gonna be microscopic.
Okay.
And they very sneaky. You know, lots of people have it, and this is a major thing. That's why we have the Supreme Clinics. Okay. Baddest thing on the market, eliminate parasites.
What?
The Supreme Cleanse.
Yeah, okay. We'll give me one of them today.
Yeah. We use those to take the parasites out. Okay? So when you take these herbs and you diabetic, you have mucus blocking the pancreatic duct and the hepatic portal, which connects to the liver. So it appears that you don't have any insulin. Insulin is there, but it's trapped in you. So then you start taking this artificial insulin. And your body gets dependent on it. And you think that we don't have any more insulin, but the insulin is always there. You have to get to the core, remove that mucus off the hepatic portal and the pancreatic duct, and it flows again. You know. This is why fasting and abstaining from certain foods is so important. So you take the herbs, then you stop doing what's causing the problem. Everybody can't eat perfectly, but you gotta stop doing what you're doing and try to eat more in moderation. Okay? It's an overemphasis on just the meat. Nobody's talking about the starches, the sugar, the rice, the bread. 1 teaspoon of sugar suppresses the immune system for 6 hours. It goes in the bone marrow and just destroys the immune system.
Wow.
So now we're walking around with, you drink a can of soda, you walk around with no immune system. The body never attacks itself. We do this to ourselves. And so you got a lot of people that's walking around with no nutrition in their body. They eat a bunch of things that's masquerading as food. It's not even food. It's all these things that's, I talked with somebody the other day, they're like, I ain't ate nothing all day but a bag of tater chips. You ain't ate nothing all day then. People eat tater chips like it's food. It's not food.
Yeah. Right.
I ain't ate nothing today but a candy. You still ain't ate nothing. Just no nutrition.
Yeah.
So you just eat stuff, and then the little stuff that you eat, the parasites eating it and taking all of your life force, taking all the nutrients from you. Now you're tired and sleepy and still hungry. I've eaten a whole thing of food, so you're not getting nothing. A lot of times we swallowing food and there's so much mucus and mucoid plaque that's stuck to our intestinal walls. And so now we're not absorbing it. We just eating it and just passing through.
No.
So now we're nutritional deficient. No nutrients in the body. You know, and what's getting it is the parasites. And they make you crave the sweet foods. Because you're feeding it. It come in through the meat. But it's fed through sweet things. Rice, bread, pasta. That's what sustains it.
Gotcha. Okay. What about lupus?
Okay. See, the lupus is coming from, the body never attacks itself. Remember, it's God's temple.
Uh-huh.
God's temple come with the foods that the Creator made in the beginning is what the body needs in it. Can't change it. So we thinking that the body attacks itself. The body never attacks itself. It's attacking the artificial foods. Okay? So instead of just saying, hey, we shouldn't eat this, they come up with this thing, the autoimmune disease, the body attacking itself. It's not attacking itself. Wheat is a deadly poison.
What is it?
Wheat. Look, you look up on your bag of potato chips, anything that people eat, and it's gonna tell you in bold writing contains wheat. You see, contains milk. Why does it put wheat in bold writing? The body is reacting to that. So you got a lot of things they put in almost everything. Corn, wheat, sugar. That's what's causing the lupus. That's what's causing it. So you have to eliminate them things out the diet.
Gotcha.
Then you detox the body, and then we use herbs that strengthens the immune system. Okay, the mushrooms. We have this thing that works on the lymphatic system called Purify. It strengthens the immune system. With the right diet. You don't have that trouble. You see, people don't forget that part. People want to see this is you know, I don't have nothing against the medical industry, but a lot of people they be on medicine for. I've got people that are medicine for 40 years. They just part of their life, and so they take this medicine for 40 years, but they still keep the same lifestyle. It don't make sense because the body, remember, is God's temple. You see, the Bible tells you about the workers in the temple, the cells in the body, working to protect us. But we not protecting them where they can do their job. So you watch ants. Ants will do their job. You can post some soda on the ground, the ants gonna come get it. The body works the same way.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
It's gonna do the same thing. So we gotta change.
What about MS? Is that something?
Still the so-called autoimmune disorder.
Yeah.
You know, I had this veteran a few years ago, and he wasn't even moving. And so when I came to his house, what you feeding him? He even threw a feeding tube. What's in the feeding tube? If you look at the stuff they was giving him, it was nothing but corn syrup, wheat, milk, everything that loosens up the body and makes you sick. And I was like, oh, you got the advantage. You take the herbs. He heals so fast. You know, we poison ourselves.
Yep.
And he was just giving all this stuff. And so what they do is, like the first thing I started noticing, before he even started walking, is that his face started, you know, that puffy face and from taking all them steroids.
Yeah, that's what my daughter was.
You know, the steroids suppress your immune system.
Yeah, true.
They turn it off. See, the body will heal itself if you put it in the right position. You put it in the right position. You can't stop death, but you don't gotta be sick until you die.
You're right. You're right. You're right. Okay, one more. Gout.
Okay, the kidneys are bad. It's the kidney. That's terrible. See, but it's a blessing. Oh my God, that you got gout. I'd rather have gout than be on the dialysis. So what the body do is it takes all the toxins, put it to the furthest extremities, take it, open, that you change. But it's hard for people to change. So what is it? Uric acid. They didn't break down properly. So the issue is really the kidneys. And the kidneys ain't go bad on their own. Of course, we help the kidneys. But it's the issue is the kidneys, but it's a blessing. If you notice, almost every neighborhood is a dialysis.
They still building.
Still building.
Yeah.
And see, people don't take the time to just look at how much things are changing. You know, it's become normal to see a hospital, something on every corner, and pharmacy on every corner. You know, going to the doctor is good, but you shouldn't just be in there for stuff that we can ourselves. Just doing it in moderation. You know?
Hey, it's been very enlightening. Wish I had a lot more time. I know you got to get back out there, but I sure appreciate this. I hope we can do this again, and hope we can. I tell you what we'll do. In the comments, if y'all have any questions, anything y'all want to ask, y'all shoot me the comment. I'll get back with Solomon, and we'll come do a part 2 of this sit down with Solomon.
That way you know what they want to know.
Exactly. So whatever you want to know, we'll come back and we'll do this again. I thank you all for chiming in with Cousin Tim. It's been a pleasure. Yes. Solomon has enlightened me on a lot of things. Like I said, I wish I had time to talk about some more things, but this has been very beneficial to me, and I hope you all have enjoyed it as well. I thank Solomon.
Thank you.
And I will continue to go out there and get me something. But we'll get a couple pictures and a couple videos of things out there that you might know, won't like. Tell them how they can reach you if they want to order some things.
Okay. You can go to, we're like you said, we in Columbia, 7201 Park Lane Road, and you can also order on solomonshealinggarden.com.
Y'all get that? We'll play it again. Cousin Tim will play it again when you get all the information you need. Order from this guy. You see, he didn't hesitate. He came straight out with what we needed. Like I said, if I touch something that you might need help in or might want to know about, Solomon is your man. We thank you all. Cousin Tim, signing out with Solomon. Peace.
Peace.
Hi. Tell me, what do y'all provide here at Solomon's Temple?
Well, at Solomon's Temples, we do provide a variety of different herbs in the store and stones, and we do provide special services, spiritual and healing service and life coach here at Solomon Temple.
Okay. Well, where are you located here?
We're located at 7201 on Park Lane Road on Suite C.
Suite C.
We're closed on Sundays and Mondays.
Okay. And what time do you open on?
Tuesdays we open up 11:30 till 6:30. Wednesday through Saturday we operate from 11:30 till 7 p.m.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right.